Hi, I'm Michael Wargo, team pilot with Precision Aerobatics and Hobbyking, and today we're going to do a little video on how to practice a new maneuver. Um, I don't know if my routine for practicing will help you, but this is kind of how I do it, and I think it makes sense. I've been doing it this way for a while. So I'm going to go up and show you a maneuver that I thought of right now that I don't do. It's a bit of a combination of things. I didn't want to do anything too complicated or something. But the plan is for me to do the first 2 points of a point roll coming straight down the runway. And when the plane is right in front of me, I'm going to push straight up, turn a quarter turn, do a little stall turn, flatten it out, and either, depending on how the plane comes out, either like half a flat spin there and then just go into a rolling harrier out of that. And that's the maneuver. So I'll show you what I do to practice it and to prepare to be able to do it with my nice balsa planes and so on and so forth. Obviously, what I'm going to do here, I've got one of my Wargo yaks here, and I'm going to try it first with a foamy, and I'm going to also try it first up a little higher. All right, so I'm going to come down the runway. Here's what I want the thing to eventually look like. Maybe I should just show you, because this isn't too hard. I don't need to practice it that much. I want to go straight up, over, a little stall turn, flatten, and then come around and start my rolling harrier out of that. So that's kind of the maneuver. So I'm going to show you how basically that I would practice it if I'm going to try this maneuver for the first time. So what I would do is I would come up this high, but make sure I have the same perspective on the plane. 2-point roll. Now it's straight in front of me. Go up, turn. Now watch the stall turn and see how it's going to come out. You know, if it's up higher, you know, maybe do a little flat spin coming down. Now that I'm coming back towards the runway, I would start the rolling harrier. But for right now, I'm going to start at one maneuver at a time, one little piece of it at a time. So the first thing is I need to get that 2-point roll down the runway down and then straight up and see what that feels like. This part's kind of easy, so I can, you know, just continue into that. Not piecing together the entire maneuver yet. And then I figure out what part of it makes me a little nervous. And if this part makes me nervous, the 2-point roll low, we'll then practice that. You can see, obviously, I needed some practice. Unfortunately, I put a new motor on it. It's flying a little nose heavy, so it's wanting to nose at the ground just a little bit. So let's try that again. See if I can make that look nice. Go low. I'm going to do a 2-point roll and point straight up. Okay, so that's the hard part. So I'm just going to rehearse and repeat that hard part so that when I get my balsa plane in my hands, I feel more comfortable. Straight up, I go over, and now I can put the rest of it in there if I want. Maybe this part I can do up high just to see how it feels to start a rolling harrier from inverted, because that's a little different than starting it normal. And I'm doing the rolling harriers up high. Now I have a lot of the stick maneuvers down, and I've practiced it, you know, a whole bunch of times. A lot more than I just did. It might require you to burn 3 batteries just doing this part. But now that I have this down, I'm going to try it with my foamy pretty low, because I'm not that fearful of the ground with it, because if I hit the ground, it's just not going to hurt the plane very much. So here we go. 2 points. Straight up. Not as pretty as I'd like. Over. Flatten it out. A little half turn. Go into my rolling harrier. And bring it down nice and low where I'm not afraid of it, because it's foam. And then fly out and do whatever else that I might want to do with it. I'm going to give you another type of maneuver that requires a lot of practice. That if you're going to do something that requires a lot of precision, what I like to do is break the maneuver into pieces. I'm going to do something on my takeoff that is, in my opinion, it's crazy difficult. You know, when I do single rolling circles, most of the time you see me roll to the right, opposite of the circle, because that's what's a bit more intuitive. Like when you first turn right on the ailerons, you know, you'd go left rudder to keep the plane up. So that's the intuitive maneuver, because when you do a 4-point roll and you roll right, the first maneuver is left rudder, and that encourages the turn. So that's why that first turn always looks so nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to try something completely opposite. I'm going to roll into the circle and roll right as I'm doing a circle left to right. And it's a lot trickier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rehearse the very first part of it. Watch my playing here. As I'm going up, I'm going to start rolling to the right and get that first quarter or half down and start over, because this is a hard maneuver to complete. So, basically the rule of thumb is, get the first part down really good. I don't want to just do the first quarter. I'm just going to do the first half for brevity in this video. But as I take off and I start rolling, I'm using opposite rudder is what is going to keep it up. And now I'm taking the rudder back to normal and then reversed. So there's my half of that roll. And then obviously you do your best to put it all together. Now you're going to realize if you ever actually try that, it's really tough because the first rudder move is literally towards the ground, so it's all counterintuitive and pretty difficult. So now I'm going to try to go more and complete the circle, but the first time I do it, I would normally be very high. I'll just show you what the maneuver looks like. So here we go. I'm going to start. We're at quarter turn. Now we're at half. And we're around. So that was as sloppy as can be. This isn't the most precise plane in the world. So now we're going to go to the balsa plane and we're going to make an attempt at doing that first maneuver. Okay, now obviously I have this Katana 60, gorgeous airplane. I do not want to smack it into the ground. So I'm going to practice the maneuver up a little higher, just to make sure I got the stick moves down and I don't do anything, so I don't do anything crazy. With the inside roll. Okay, that was really bad, but I haven't done that maneuver in a while. So I'm going to go straight up, do a turnaround. Now as I'm getting close to the ground, I'm going to do exactly what I said I was going to do, which is I'm going to do a 2-point roll. I'm going to go straight up, stall, down, flatten it out a little bit, come down, and start my rolling Harrier down the runway or around in another circle. And that will be it.